If you see this shirt, hairstyle, and makeup in 2 different videos, mind your business. Today's video is a part 2 of the video that I posted a couple weeks ago on things I stopped doing to live in my truth, to live a happier life, to be a better human being, and have better relationships with people in my life. If you've not seen part 1, I'm going to have that video linked in the description box below. Now, the first thing on my list is I started saying no without explaining myself or feeling guilty. I come from a people-pleasing background. I've expressed this even in part 1. I spoke to you guys that I had people-pleasing disease or people-pleasing syndrome at some points in my life where I would have to discomfort myself to please other people. And I couldn't be my 100% self around people. So I had certain issues that I had to deal with. One of the major things that was so difficult for me during that phase of my life, when I couldn't actually do something or I didn't have the capacity to do something or I couldn't stretch myself thin in situations, I felt so bad for turning people down. I felt so bad for rejecting people. I would always put myself in uncomfortable situations just to please people. And that never, ever yielded me any result, or that never, ever made me feel good about myself even after I've done the deed for them. I realized that for every time I had to squeeze myself, discomfort myself, do things for the favor of other people, I lost a piece of me. I started piling up anger, resentment, hate in my heart for people, and specifically for that person or that situation. That made sense. I started building a toxic and dangerous mindset when it came to people and certain things in my life. I just felt not heard. I felt not seen. I felt not recognized. But I was also the cause of that problem, because if I just said no, I wouldn't be in that situation. And ever since I stopped saying yes to everything and started saying no, especially without explaining myself, I've had this burden off my chest. I'm more confident in myself. I have more self-esteem. I've literally built a stronger person, a strong-willed person. I have the strength that I never thought that I had. I had to take my power back. I had to start living my truth, making myself feel happy, feel relaxed, because at the end of the day in this world, nobody has your back as much as you have your own back. From this video, if there's anything that I strongly believe that you need to take out of and start implementing in your life, is to say no. Say no in situations where you feel like you don't have the capacity to actually show up. Say no in situations where you feel like you just don't want to. And honestly, you don't even necessarily have to have a reason to just say no. Sis, you don't feel like it, say no. As long as I have the opportunity to talk about Skillshare, I'm going to keep talking about Skillshare, because the website that I use religiously, I love, and I'll definitely recommend to anyone who is wanting to grow, learn, pick up skill at any point in their life. This is the right opportunity for you to do so. I'm going to introduce Skillshare to you if you've never heard me talk about Skillshare. Skillshare is the largest online learning platform with thousands of classes that are led by industry professionals. If it's cooking you want to learn, if it's creativity, arts and crafts, software development, design, YouTube, content creation, marketing, entrepreneurship, freelancing, pretty much anything that you want to gain skill or knowledge in, you can go on Skillshare and you would have classes that will make you an advanced or pro in that industry. I've given you my experience with using the platform a lot of times in different areas. Anytime I'm trying to perfect a skill or gain more knowledge in a skill, I usually run to Skillshare. I'm currently taking French on the platform. I have just completed my routine content creation class that I usually take at the start of every year to refresh my memory on everything content creation for different platforms when it comes to understanding the platforms, creating content like a pro, drafting content, scripting content. I've just finished taking the classes on Skillshare, and now I feel like I'm pumped and ready for the year. An amazing add-on to the platform that I've introduced to you guys prior is the learning path. The learning path is pretty much handpicked classes that were put together by Skillshare. You have to take these classes one after the other, so you can go from beginner to pro for any area that you're trying to gain knowledge in. I feel like it's an amazing idea, because sometimes when you start improving a skill or you're learning a new skill, you don't know how to take the classes in order so you can be a pro. You have to pretty much scout and arrange your schedule yourself, or arrange your classes yourself. But with the learning path, you have that already done for you. You just pick the industry or the new skill that you're trying to learn. You're definitely going to find a learning path there that's already handpicked, arranged. You take them in order and you become an advanced or a pro in that area. Again, Skillshare has a variety of classes across different industries, so just know that whatever it is you're looking for to advance your skill in, you will find on Skillshare. Personally, the first learning path that I would recommend is Grow Your First YouTube Channel. It only has 6 classes, and trust me, this is packed with a lot of information that'll be useful
useful when you're starting your YouTube channel or your content creation journey. Second learning path recommendation is start a life you love with systematic goal setting. This is really useful. It only has 3 classes and it's just 2 hours 9 minutes.
If you're looking for arts and craft, design could be on different areas. It could also be fashion design, it could be influencing, it could be self-help, self-development, it could also be productivity, it could be anything. I will not bring something to you guys without giving you a little bit more to get you started using an amazing platform like Skillshare. So the first 500 people to use my link, which is on the screen and in the description box below, will get their first month free. I'm gonna say this again. The first 500 people to use my link, which is linked below and is also shown on the screen, will get their first month completely free. I 100% encourage you to start learning, advancing your skill. If you're looking to start a business this year, if you're looking to monetize your craft this year, I 100% recommend Skillshare. Find a class on Skillshare to help you through that journey. Now, the second thing that I stopped doing was forcing and worrying about literally everything in my life. This is not to say that you shouldn't be intentional about your life or the things that happen in your life, or you should not be aware. But honestly, what does worrying do for you? I worried so much that I drove myself into a deep dark hole when it comes to anxiety. Like, I made my health situation worse because I was overthinking everything, worrying about everything, worrying about people, also forcing everything, forcing relationships, forcing friendships. You don't need to kill yourself about certain things. Yes, you should be intentional about things. Yes, you should put your best foot forward in things. Yes, you should plan out your life, set goals, short-term goals, long-term goals. But at the end of the day, what's the point of worrying about the outcome of those goals, or worrying about the outcome of a situation, or worrying about pretty much every tiny thing in your life when you're not truly in control of that outcome? One thing I've learned in life is whatever it is that you don't have control over, it's not worth your time. It's not worth 5 minutes of your head space, your thinking space. First thing you do when you worry so much is lose sight of the actual thing that you should be focusing on at that time. You worry so much about so many things not happening right in your life. You not getting that job, you not having a family, you running out of time, which honestly, I don't even see how you're running out of time. We're humans. We worry about literally every small thing. I used to be a worrier. Like, I wake up every morning and think about everything that's not going right in my life and wallow in them, like cry about it most of the time. Just go about my entire day filling my thoughts with all the terrible things that are happening in my life, or something that could be better, or a situation around the corner that is not going right, or just someone that I'm having issues with. I lose sight of the beautiful life I'm living, or the beauty of my life, or my purpose. Once you start to fill up your mind with worry about your life, about your trajectory, about your progress, about every single thing, you're not enjoying the moment. You're not living in the moment. You spend so much time thinking instead of creating room for abundance in your life. When you start to force things, you become your own enemy. That's you putting something in between you and what you actually deserve in every situation. If you're forcing a relationship or a friendship, that's you standing in your way of getting better friendships, something way better than what you're forcing and hoping and you're trying to hold down right now. Now, the third thing that I stopped doing, which is so heavy and honestly the most important thing on this list for me and in my life, is I stopped rushing God's plans, or trying to rush God's plans. Having my 20s and being an adult, I had to grow up so fast. I had to get my life together so fast. I missed out on a lot of things, which, to be honest, right now, being almost 30, I don't necessarily think I missed out actually on those things. I feel like that was just my journey and my path, and looking back at it right now, no regret. I'm actually happy the way things went and panned out in my life. But because I had that mindset, because I had to do that at a very early age in my life, I had goals at a certain age. I'm telling you, I had a whole life plan written out, drafted out. At the time, actually, I had from 20 to 27 already planned out. I used to be that girl where every single thing that I wanted to achieve or milestone I wanted to reach at a certain age, I already planned it. And honestly, I was working towards it from the age of 20. I was firing down. And I tell you, I crashed when I was 24, 25. God had to remind me that He's God. God had to remind me that He has the final say. His plan and trajectory for my life is best for me. Whatever list I had when I was 20, I tell you right now, absolutely none is my reality right now. None of it is my reality right now. And I am happy and I am grateful and I am content. God will always be God in your life. Allow him to be God in your life. Never you rush your time. Don't rush God's plan. Don't rush his purpose for you in life, because eventually you will get there, and you will get there at the appropriate time. We are so consumed by how fast-paced this world is, how fast-paced life is. People are flashing a lot of success in our faces that we're just like, we have to get it. We need to get it. We have to do better. We have to do what they're doing. That's their journey. That's their plan. Some of them are not even living God's plan. If I'm going to be honest with you, they are not living God's plan for them in their lives. They're not. Some of them have completely left their plan. They've left track. They are going the opposite direction that God has called them to go. And one thing about those people that are not in track right now with God's plan, when they get to a certain point, they will crash. They would 100% crash. I am so grateful that God, still in my 20s, called me to order, because I don't know where I would have been if I completely went without listening to him for a second, stopping for a second to hear him. I might be taking the detour at 35 or at 40. And obviously, while that's still okay, as long as I'm taking the detour, I realized myself, I became self-aware. I started working on myself according to God's plan. Your time is your time. Your journey is different. Your path is different. Never you in your life try to run faster than God's plan in your life. Always make sure you're seeking God before you embark on any journey in your life, just so you are on the right path. Get confirmation from God. Ask him. Tell him to speak to you. Am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? If I'm not, please detour. Take me back to square one. Let me start to hustle. Let me start to struggle from the beginning. You need God's guidance and direction in your life. You feeling sad again, you worrying, you forcing things, is you wasting your time. Another huge thing I stopped doing to live in my truth, live a better life, live a happier life, is I stopped neglecting my health. I've always been conscious about my health to a certain extent, but I just never felt like I needed to take certain things serious. Like, I used to be that one person that I would get certain symptoms and I would ignore it, because I used to have this go-getter spirit, which I still do have it, but previously it was intense. I used to be on go. I'm telling you, I used to be an overachiever, and I used to make sure that I'm getting productive from 8 a.m. to at least 1 a.m. And obviously this comes from the point that I mentioned earlier, that I had to grow up really fast. My life journey was structured in a certain way where I had to be hyper independent. I had to take care of myself from a very early age. One thing that I was so afraid was failing. I was so afraid of failing so bad that I just neglected anything else. I was just walking towards a particular goal, firing down, not really being conscious of my health. Certain things that I will feel, I'll just mask it or numb it, or I'll just take aspirin or take ibuprofen or take Panadol, paracetamol, and I'll sleep it out and I'll feel better and I'll start again. I just never really was health conscious until a certain point in my life where I had to sit down. I've spoken about resting a lot of times on this channel because you don't know how important it is. I almost killed myself because I didn't know how to sit the fuck down. I didn't know how to sleep. I didn't know how to not be productive. Your health will take a toll on you when you don't understand rest days, no productivity days. Even in the glow up guide, I spoke about it. You need to take that serious because your life will be a lot more smoother and better when your health is in check. I didn't even know what tiredness felt like for the longest time, and I'm not even going to lie. I'm going to give you guys an exact point where I knew what tiredness felt like. From 2022. 2022 was when I knew what it felt to be tired. You know how you feel when you're drifting? You know that moment you get when you're about to like fall asleep? I didn't know how it felt like until 2022. The main reason is because I didn't know my body. I didn't know certain things. I didn't know when my body was telling me that it was tired. I didn't know when my body was telling me to rest. I didn't know what fatigue felt like. Because I didn't know what it felt like, I thought something was terribly wrong with me. I didn't know my body was tired. I didn't know I needed rest. I just felt like I was dying. So then I would always go to the emergency room because I was just like, am I okay? And doctors are like, yeah, you're okay. You're just tired. You're okay. You just need to do yoga. You need to meditate. That's what doctors would always tell me. And I'm just like, no, that's because I didn't understand what rest was. Health is wealth. Do not neglect your health. The last thing I want to talk about is I stopped putting people on a pedestal. The danger of putting people on a pedestal is you begin to compare yourself. You begin to see yourself as inferior to other people. You begin to see people as much more than they actually are. And in return, you begin to question your own life, your progress, your success, and your entire being. That's what happens when you put people on a pedestal. Everyone is trying to put their lives together. Everyone is struggling, sis. The moment you realize that, your life will become a lot easier. You stop overthinking people's positions in your life. You stop overthinking thinking people's actions and reactions. Human beings will always be human beings. The moment you stop putting expectations on human beings based off of how you see them, not how they truly are, that'll be the day you're reborn. There is nothing superior about the next person. You all are the same. Their journey might just look different, but that doesn't mean they are doing better than you. I stopped comparing myself when I realized that the people that I looked up to were also looking up to me. Now that's pretty much everything that I have for you guys in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I have my socials linked below, my Instagram and my TikTok. I definitely encourage you to follow me on there to keep updated with me on a daily basis. Let me know your thoughts about this video in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
Those of you that are listening in your car, at your job, you at home, I don't care where you at. Turn this up right now, because we're about to go in. Hey.